Heavy rains hit the east of Spain. Particularly affected the province of Valencia, indeed the capital of the same name. Gion fell up to 400 millimeters of precipitation in a day, and in places and weather stations recorded the intensity of rain 60 millimeters hour. This was the cause of sudden and very rapid floods and flash floods. Valencia flooded subways and underpasses, many streets turned into rivers, cars stood on rooftops of water, some of them carried away by violent streams of water and mud. South of Spain was also affected by the flood. There derailed a train of emergency services, and the autonomous community of Andalusia responded to 130 incidents because of heavy rains and high winds suffered in particular in the province of Malaga, Huelva, and Sevilla. A river that came out of the banks flooded the streets of the Ronda city of Malaga province. Firefighters rescued at least 3 people from a flooded home. As a result of floods and landslides of the province, 5 main roads in the municipality of Hort Forest have left roads underwater and blocked a road tunnel. Over a 12-hour period, 148 millimeters of rainfall collapsed here. Meanwhile, FFU because of the heavy rain on the route Algeciras-Madrid went off the rails. The train carrying more than 40 people, 4 people were slightly injured. As a result of heavy snowfall, Atlantic Canada places hinted up to 30 centimeters of snow. Heavy snowfall passed Newfoundland, leaving many roads impassable from beyond ice and slush, and was predicted to hit up to 20 centimeters of snow in the worst affected areas of Newfoundland. But by 7 o'clock around 30 centimeters of winter rainfall had already been recorded in the Gander area. Weather conditions took locals by surprise as the overall snowfall figures were exceeded. For this time, one heavy snowfall in the region forced authorities to close some schools, and drivers were urged to avoid unnecessary travel. The death toll from a Typhoon Benny that struck the Philippines Sunday with wind gusts of up to 310 kilometers an hour has risen to 20. Earlier, 16 fatalities were reported. The Benny was 18 typhoons to hit the Philippines this year and one of the strongest typhoons in the modern era, having lost the lives of more than 6,000 people in 2013. The country's emergency management agency said fatalities were reported by the provinces of Albay y Cotonduan. From the authorities said more deaths were prevented in forced evacuation of more than 345,000 people. The Philippines could be threatened by the end of this week in another storm. Or about 300 people left their homes from beyond the torrential rains of the city of Sugar, a state of Pernambuco. In one day almost 289 millimeters of precipitation fell. The average annual rainfall of the city is about 640. 4 city authorities declared a state of emergency. The victims left their homes mostly in the Salgado town area and were temporarily housed in local schools and gyms. The flood depth in some places reached 1.5 meters. In the record cold, Brazil caused significant damage to the fruit harvest. Frosts have been recorded in many Santa Catarina towns from the west. Dossier of rock 3 Germans in different parts of the Sinjak, Mosque apple and grape growers try to protect the crop by raising bonfires around orchards, but in many places such as Valadin, Trude and about 10 kilometers from the city center by the manufacturer was unlucky. Frosts have done significant damage to the crop. A meteorite exploded over the northeast of the United States. The flash was visible 1,000 kilometers away. The fireball, which some observers call the biggest and brightest they have ever seen, flew over the northeast of the U.S., and Halloween residents of 9 states witnessed the fall of a huge fireball. The meteor was so large and bright that it could be seen in northern Michigan all the way to Georgia over 900 kilometers away. Nearly 200 people contacted an international meteor organization to report their sightings. Also on the Kuban, fall of the meteorite got on video. A local resident filmed the flight of a falling meteorite in the sky of the Krasnodar region. The meteorite was the size of a soccer ball. The whole flight, of course, did not have time to shoot too unexpectedly it was. The author signed the video. He noted that the meteorite was the size of a soccer ball. The footage of the video shows a glowing ball and several bright flares. And finally, we want to show you a selection of the most powerful storms captured on camera. Storm C is not a rare phenomenon that takes the lives of many people, with this element almost impossible to cope. In doing so, many tankers crossing the oceans experienced even as severe violent storms as possible.